everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Amy here. Today I have some exciting new things to share with you. As you will notice right here, I finally caved in and got myself a portable greenhouse. I think I shared in my previous video that I've been starting a lot of seeds indoors, so I have a ton, like tons and tons of seedlings that need somewhere to go. Funny thing is, when I was watching or doing my research of how people start seeds indoor, one of the things that I don't recall were mentioned often is, what do people do with all of their seedlings once they have germinated and have grown to a certain size? And that was the problem I ran into. Is I started all these seeds, they were growing great, and then I was like, okay, now what do I do with all of these seedlings? So I thought of, okay, you know what, I need to buy something that like this, a portable greenhouse outside that I can set up temporarily to hold me over for the next few weeks until my last frost date passes, which is usually mid-May or May 24. So here it is. And so far it's been doing pretty good. Well, we haven't had any severe weather yet, so I don't know how it's gonna hold up when and if that comes. But this week, the reason I had set it up this week and not prior is because the temperature has finally warmed up, whereby the nighttime temperature is kind of hovering between anywhere from 3 to 7 this week, Celsius that is, this week. So I've been monitoring to see how cold it gets in here, and so far the plants have been doing really good. The one thing I have noticed though, it does heat up quite a bit. It gets quite hot. So as you notice here, I have tied up the flaps here to air out, to give some air circulation and to kind of like move the hot air out, and it seems to be working. So yeah, that's one of the new things that I have. And also, I don't know if you guys know this, but I love roses, and this year I have bought, how many, 8 or 9? 9 new roses that I'm going to be adding to my collection, and I will be sharing that with you also. So let's take a look around to see what is happening in my garden. I've had a chance to sort of tidy it up and clean it up a little bit. It was a total mess during the winter time. I had pots everywhere. My temporary shelter area that was housing a lot of my plants collapsed because of the crazy snow and ice that we had during the winter time. So yeah, let me show you around. Okay, so excuse my mess. I've just started to clean up like yesterday. So everything is still a total mess right now. I have a lot of work to do. So what I have done so far is, I don't know if you recall, but I had a whole bunch of plants that were overwintered under my gazebo here. And then I also had a whole bunch of plants that were stored here, whereby I had a portable sort of makeshift shelter thing that I had built, and that collapsed on me. So these plants have now been moved under to the gazebo, and all of the plants and pots that were under here have gone out there. And this, I think I shared this in my previous video. If not, I'll post a picture. This area here is actually all empty. There is actually no garden. Everything that you see and will see in the coming months when the flowers or the garden starts growing and are in bloom, all potted flowers and plants that will be here. So this is what it sort of looks like right now, with all the pots with plants that are starting just to wake up and emerging. I did mention before, if I was successful in just overwintering 80% of them coming back, I would be very happy. And I gotta say, I might have hit that target. If anything, maybe 70 to 80%. The only reason I don't want to say a higher number is because some still seem to be in this dormant state. Like, say for example, this 9 bark here, it doesn't have any new growth per se, but it does have these nodes on there that looks like it might be forming new growth, but as of now it doesn't show any signs. So I don't know if it's dead or it will be coming back to life for me. Same thing here. I have this jam here that has some greens, but a lot of them, most of them is brown. So I don't know if it will survive. But then I have these that have clearly made it through. And look at all these new growth here. So yes, very, very happy with what I have uncovered. Look at this yarrow, more new growth. And then here is where I have stored my new roses, all of these. There's 8 of them here. There's actually one more, which is the iceberg white rose. I think small shrub, if I'm not mistaken. I've already planted in a pot in my front yard, so I don't have it sitting here amongst all of these ones, but I'll post a picture so you know what it looks like. But yeah, super happy. Finally, the weather is nice and I can start planning out my garden. This is just kind of me temporarily putting them here. This might not be its final kind of place where I will have them. And then of course, super happy with my greenhouse. Look at all the plants that I have in here. So very happy. So here you can see I have a tray of foxgloves that I have started from seed. I think this one is the peach variety that I grew, I think last year, the year before, and I saved seed for it. I didn't really expect anything to germinate from it, to be honest, because I've never really saved seeds from foxgloves before, but to my delight, they have germinated very well. And I have actually a few tray of it because I wasn't sure how successful I was going to be, so I literally threw a whole bunch of seed into this tray. This is thinned out already, and then from that came this tray, and this tray, and I still have tons left, which I'm planning to give away. One of the other thing I want to point out is over here. So this plant was started exact same time as this batch right here, but look at the difference in size. The reason being is that these ones were placed under grow light for a very short period of time, whereas this one right here had more time under the grow light. And look at the difference in size. Is that not crazy? It's pretty crazy. And then I have, what do I have here? Snapdragons. Oh yes, here. So snapdragons, I have some here. And so these ones were started indoors, short period under the grow light. And then I got this one right here. Started exact same time, much longer under the grow light, and look at the size difference. Yep, crazy, right? Same with this one here, under grow light. I did pinch off the top, so it's starting to branch out a little bit here. Oh my gosh, this is the first year I have started pansies and viola from seeds, and look, it has a little flower coming up. These took a while. They take quite a while to grow, but I'm so happy. Look at that. And I got more here, more pansy right here. These are pansies. These are violas. Oh, another bud or flower bud I've seen. Where is it? Oh, here it is. If I'm not mistaken, this is calendula. Look what I see. A flower bud forming. Oh my God, so exciting. So I have a whole bunch of them. So these were grown under grow light. So I think that's why the flower buds are starting so early. These ones were not under grow light quite as long, so they're a little behind in terms of growth. I don't see any flower buds here, but they're doing really well, super healthy. And then here I also have flowering cabbages. This one, I'm assuming they're different colors, so that's why they look a little bit different. Got some more here. I also started some columbine here. They're teeny tiny. I believe these are biannual, so I don't expect any flowers from them this year. So I'll just grow them on, and then next year hopefully I'll get flowers. Another batch of my snapdragons. they're doing really, really well. In this little pot here, I did an experiment. I kind of jumped the gun a little bit and started things in February. And right here, it's these are pansies right here. You can see that they're tiny. The reason being is I had them growing somewhat in a cooler area. These are stalks and they're still small. So I'm hoping now that they're in this greenhouse that they will bulk up and grow a little bit faster. And hopefully I'll get some blooms. This was an experiment I did also. Didn't quite work out the way I expected to. So most of them are kind of not looking so great. I think it was too cold for them where I had them. Same thing, pansies here, teeny tiny. Hopefully being in this greenhouse will help them grow a little bit better. And I have these meadow pots there that I have a combination of snapdragons, alyssums, I believe, and some pansies. So hopefully in a few weeks time, I should have pretty flowers in these pots. And also here, I started some spring bulbs in these little pots. These are muscari, I believe. Or I think that's what they're called. So I got 2 of these pots. Sorry about the lighting, it's super sunny today. And they're looking super cute. Got blooms already. So yeah, this greenhouse hopefully will be able to help me grow these plants on a bit longer for at least another over 4 or 5 weeks until my last frost, until I can plant them out into the garden. But so far they're looking great. I'm keeping a very close eye on them to make sure that they're doing okay during the nighttime when the temperature drops a little bit lower. Right now I think we're 18 degrees outside, and look, check out the temperature in here. It's like 37, I believe, and that's with the flap open like this. All right, so let's go to the roses. This is where I really am super excited about. The first one I have here is called Tournament of Roses. Is a peachy orangey color, and the tag says that it is light fragrance. I wonder what kind of fragrance it is. It's a grandiflora, so it should grow, how much is it, 4 to 5 feet tall. Of course, most roses, from what I know, they prefer full sun, which I will definitely try to put these in full sun. And check out the growth, the new growth on these. I think the majority, if not all of them, have really healthy new growth on them. I lucked out. I bought this, I think, at a local Canadian Tire near my place, and they had it available early March, which is super early in my area to have any kind of plants out at that time. I just happened to be there and found these, and I grabbed, the first trip I had 4, I grabbed 4. And then in the following weeks or so, they came out with more. Okay, oh, I should mention this one where I'm like, oh, super excited. So I've been eyeing this one for quite some time, Lady of Shalott. I wanted to get it last year. I kept sitting on the fence and they end up all selling out. This year, as soon as it was available, I dashed down to the garden center to grab me one. So I am very excited to be able to grow this one this year. This one will not be grown in a pot. It will definitely go into my garden, and I have a spot in mind for it. Let's do this one right here. This one is called Brandy Hybrid Tea Rose. And as you can see, I'm a little bit very attracted actually to these peachy, almost orangey color type of flowers. And this one, it says it has light fragrance here. How many? Oh yeah, so it's 3.5 to 4.5 feet tall. So it's not too big, which fits my garden very well. And then I have this white one right here. I typically don't do a lot of white flowers, but I thought, you know, I should change it up. I keep buying the same shade of plants and flowers, so throwing a white in there to give it a good mix. This is a hybrid tea called JFK Hybrid, and this one, it says good fragrance. Not sure what that exactly means, but we'll find out. It's grow to 3 to 4 feet tall. And then I got this one. I love this color. Okay, so hopefully the sun is not too bright for you to see this. This is called Big Purple Hybrid Tea. And look at the pretty color. Very, very pretty. This one reminds me of my other rose called Pretty Lady. But I think this one might even be a tad deeper and have a more red tone to it. Very fragrant. Grows to 4 to 5 feet tall. And this one, I haven't decided whether I want them in a pot or in the garden. Like I said, I have only 2 rose color that I know exactly where it's gonna go. The rest, I think most likely will go into pots. This next one is called Perfume Delight, hybrid tea type. Very fragrant and grows to 3 to 4 feet. I know in the photo, this one, a Perfume Delight and Big Purple look very similar in color, but I have a gut feeling, well, at least when I Google up online, they do look very different. I'll try to post pictures of them up so that you have kind of an idea of what it will look like once it's in bloom. And this one is another exciting one that I got. This one is called Heritage. From what I have found on the internet, it's a David Austin rose. And it is supposed to be very fragrant, and it grows to about 4 feet tall. Super light, almost, would I say pink? Peachy pink, I guess, or pink. But yes, very, very excited about this one. And look at the beautiful new growth. Look at all the beautiful new growth. I really lucked out with this, these roses. Oh, this is one, okay. So I've been kind of eyeing a purple rose. The reason being is, or purple or blue, I don't know. I think you could call it blue because this one's called Blue Girl, but I see purple when I look at this. I already have an existing purple one in my garden. I thought maybe I need another one to balance it out. And this is called Blue Girl. It's a hybrid tea, and it is supposed to be good fragrance, grow to be about 3 to 4 feet tall. And let me see, let me shade no, I can't, it's too sunny. I'll try to post pictures of it so you can see what the flower color looks like. And also like the rest, beautiful new growth showing on here already. Okay, so in terms of placement, let me see if I can show you where they're gonna go. So I have a rose there. It's a yellow one, Midnight Romantica. Here I have a light pink one. Right here I have a Annabelle hydrangea, so it's white. And I'm thinking of putting Lady of Shalott right here. She should be able to fill out this spot very nicely. I think she grows pretty big if I'm not mistaken. And then the next one I have in mind to go into the garden is this spot right here. Mr. Lincoln is currently there right now, but as you can see, he does not look very, very healthy. And I think that might be my fault. Last year when I bought him, when I was transplanting from the pot into the ground, when I tipped over the pot, I was very careless. I did not put my hand underneath the pot, and what ended up happening was half of the soil and lots of its roots came out and broke off. And so I think it sustained quite a bit of root damage. And I think maybe that's why he's looking pretty sad. So I'm thinking about pulling him out, put him in the pot to see if he will recover or not. And then Blue Girl, the purple one that I mentioned, will go right here. And I mentioned I have another purple one. I think in the previous video I've shown is this one right here. I don't know what the name of it is. I bought this quite a while ago, and so I have a purple blue one right there ready. I figure if I put another purple blue one across here, it would somewhat help balance the color scheme a little bit. I did not do a video on trimming my roses, but I have done them already. I did that, I think, a few days ago when the weather was a bit warmer. I checked the weather and it was going to be consistently warm, so I came out here and trimmed. And you won't see me doing a rose pruning video because I am a complete newbie at it, so I don't feel confident enough to show you the process. So I just kind of like trim it down a little bit. What is this, like 18 inches or so, I think, so by half of what its growth was. And I did that to all of my roses, taking all the dead stems, anything that's rubbing, crossing, I took off. Here's how small it is. This one used to be like way up here. Trimmed it by half. All of the roses over there. So everything is looking pretty good, except for Mr. Lincoln there. All of my other roses seem to have fared pretty well over the winter. Not much winter damage. The stems are green, they're looking healthy. Yep, this one I left a little bit longer. I'm still kind of sitting on the fence whether I want to trim it down just a tad more. It's kind of on the tall side, and what I worry is that if it's this tall already, and when the new stem come out, it will be really tall, and then of course the blooms will be quite tall where it might not be able to enjoy it at eye level. So I'm still sitting on the fence of that. I don't know if you recall in my previous video, but I planted a whole bunch of tulips, and look, they are starting to pop up all over the place. I think I had hundreds planted. I don't know how many. I can't really count how many is up right now, but seems like quite a lot of them are out there all over the garden. So in a few weeks, we should see a sea of color all around my garden bed. I also planted some allium. These should be Globe Masters, if I recall correctly. So these ones here, they're doing quite well. So they're coming up. So these are alliums. I have alliums from previous year planted, and they are further along in terms of growth. So I have a patch here. They should be the purple and white variety. Smaller balls in terms of the flower head, but they look really nice. More over there, the alliums, white and purple. So yes, this is what my garden looks like right now in early spring. And it's amazing to see it transform as the weeks come along, when things start to really wake up and put on more growth. And then I'll take you along as things progress so that you can see the transformation over time. This stash right here, I still have to sort out, but the majority of I've trimmed back all the dead leaves and twigs so they look a little bit more tidy. Yeah, so more cleaning up to do. Super big mess right now though. I hope I'm not the only one that is a messy gardener like this. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video.